Welcome everybody to the inaugural first episode of The Gimmick. My name is Ryan and I am the host for today's show. I am a former professional wrestler, been wrestling since I was 16 years old for a company located out of Williamstown, New Jersey called OTW, Old Time Professional Wrestling. Now, I'm taking more of a behind the scenes kind of approach where I'm going to be trying to understand and critique the psychology and storytelling elements of professional wrestling. I'm not saying I'm the be-all, end-all. I don't know everything. I don't know anything about anything for that matter. But I do believe my perspective and my mentality of professional wrestling differs from a lot of fans and independent wrestlers for that matter. Like I said, I value more of the storytelling and the psychology elements of wrestling, whereas most other independent wrestlers, they are so focused on bleeding and doing all these high spots and jumping off of roofs, all this other nonsense to kind of get a reaction when it's so much more simplistic than that. So on this show, it's going to be an all-inclusive video web series right here on YouTube where I'll be doing a bunch of different segments. For example, I will be starting every episode off with a breaking news and major storyline happenings inside of major wrestling companies like WWE and AEW. And from there, I will be doing an independent wrestling showcase where I highlight the independent wrestling shows happening within my area with hopes that you guys either check it out live or check it out on the variety of different streaming services. After that, I will be doing a match breakdown analysis where I'm going to be reviewing matches, analyzing them, critiquing them, trying to break down all the different elements of what makes a good wrestling match. My hopes is that if as a young up-and-coming independent wrestlers watching this, they can use that knowledge and apply it to their own craft. And finally, I will wrap up each episode with some sort of debate or discussion or interview of some sort with another wrestler. For this week's episode, I brought out the big guns. I brought out one of my closest friends, one of my best friends from so many years back, deathmatch wrestling icon, Jimmy Lloyd. With all that said, all this and more, let's get started on The Gimmick. This week, I'll be taking a look at the shows that happened throughout the week of March 1st. So first up, we had Monday Night Raw. I think the biggest elephant in the room is that we have a new WWE champion, and his name is Bobby Lashley. Big congratulations to Bobby Lashley. He is somebody that has put the time in. He's busted his ass, put the hard work in for like 17 years, and he finally became the champion. So congratulations to him. As far as the story went that took place on Raw, I was a really big fan of it. I was a really big fan of the story that was being portrayed. It started the week prior, and then all the little occurrences that happened throughout the show, I was also a big fan of, and then it got even better with the actual match itself. So the story they were portraying was Miz being the cowardly chicken shit heel that just keeps running away from the larger, more intimidating figure that is Bobby Lashley. And big props to Miz. He's so good at playing his role. He's someone that identifies his role. He is a heel. He is someone that wants to get hated. He wants to get booed, and he does so well at that job. So the major theme that kept taking place throughout the episode was the Miz was constantly trying to avoid Bobby Lashley at all costs. He wanted no parts because he knew if he stepped foot in the ring with Lashley, he was going to lose the championship. And throughout the night, Miz was seen trying to create excuses, whether it be his stomach or he took the belt and just ran away from the match. He wanted no parts of it until inevitably he had no choice. There was no place to run, no place to hide. He had to face Bobby Lashley in the main event and he had to put the championship on the line. And admittedly so, Bobby Lashley and The Miz is not my cup of tea. Really wasn't looking forward to this match. It wasn't something I was really dying to see. But to the WWE's credit, they took a match I could really care less about and they made me want it. They kept teasing it. Oh, this match is going to happen at the 8 o'clock hour, at the 9 o'clock hour, at the 10 o'clock hour. Oh, it's happening at 11 o'clock. And before you know it, through all the shenanigans that kept taking place throughout this television show, I'm just like, oh my God, just give me the match already. I just want to see the match already. And then when the actual match happened, you're looking at the clock. You're like, the show's got like 8 minutes left. And you're like, are they really going to go through and give Bobby Lashley the belt? And to everyone's surprise, they actually ended up pulling the trigger with Bobby Lashley. In terms of the match itself, I was a really big fan of it. It wasn't 15 to 20 minute stellar classic where everyone's going to get their moves in and everyone's kicking out everyone's finishers. It didn't need to be that. Not every match needs to be that. This match's purpose was to demonstrate both characters. If The Miz was to hit a bunch of moves and hit his skull-crushing finale, hit a bunch of moves on Bobby Lashley, then what were you running from, Miz? What were you so scared of? No, his fears were validated because when he did get in the ring, he pretty much had no offense the entire match. I think he may have hit like 2 punches to the midsection on Bobby Lashley and he just no-sold it. And Bobby Lashley looked like an absolute beast. And like I said earlier, The Miz is so good at knowing his role. He understood he was a transitional champion. He was just a prop to get the belt from Drew McIntyre to Bobby Lashley. And where they go from here, I am definitely intrigued. As far as AEW Dynamite goes, I think the biggest thing that I liked this show was the FTR versus Jurassic Express match. I am a humongous fan of FTR, as you could probably assume. I'm more a fan of traditional, old school kind of matches, and these guys just get wrestling. I'm also a fan of Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Marco Stunt. I believe they're very good baby faces. So definitely, if there's things to go back and watch this week, with wrestling on television, I would go back and watch the stuff they did with Bobby Lashley and The Miz. I think it was very captivating, and I'm interested to see where they go from here. And as far as AEW goes, just watch the FTR and Jurassic Express match. I think there's a lot of really good work on that match. Alright, so for this week's Indie Wrestling Showcase, I will be highlighting 3 independent wrestling shows happening within the Northeast area. First up, we got GCW Game Changer Wrestling presenting Take Care on Saturday, March the 6th, live in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and it can be streamed on Fight TV. For the matches, we got Ricky Shane Page defending his GCW Heavyweight Championship against Joey Janela, and if Janela loses, then he loses the right to the Spring Break show. And we also got my boy Jimmy Lloyd taking on G Raver in a no-ropes barbed wire match. Up next, on March the 13th, we got my boy Sean Henderson presenting Money Longer live in Williamstown, New Jersey at the H2O Wrestling Center. For the matches, we got Jimmy Lloyd going one-on-one with Dylan McKay in a street fight. We got Drew Blood going one-on-one with Marcus Mathers, and for the main event, it's going to be a classic for sure. It's going to be Christian Robinson going one-on-one with Reed Walker. And finally, on March 20th, Hardcore Hustle Organization H2O is presenting Bad Luck. It Can't Last Forever, live on IWTV in Williamstown, New Jersey. For the matches, we got Frankie Picard putting his Hybrid Championship on the line in a fatal 4-way match against Mouse, against Dylan McKay, and against Lucky 13. And for the main event, we got Aiden Bale challenging the monster Chuck Payne for the H2O Heavyweight Championship. Alright, so this match takes place in Williamstown, New Jersey, in the year 2016. I am, that skinny guy with the mask on is me. My name is Valiente, and I'm challenging for the Heavyweight Championship of the company for OTW, Old Time Wrestling. I'm wrestling against Justin Pusser, the meanest in the game. And right off the bat, so you see the heel has something up his sleeve, literally. The referee is doing a good job of trying to get it out, and oh, he got caught with it. He got caught with the chain. The crowd reacts very well to this because they know he's cheating. The crowd was very much behind me. I was obviously the underdog, as you couldn't tell already for the story. Okay, so the match starts officially. As you can tell, the crowd is very much behind me. This was my first true main event, my first true time that I can showcase what Valiente is all about. So I was shooting for the leg there, trying to show that I am the better wrestler, because as a babyface, you should always try to show that you are the better wrestler. So of course I'm trying to go for a single leg on the bigger man. I go for it again, this time way more unsuccessful, and I'm getting out-wrestled by the bigger man. We work up to a vertical base. Get met with a slap. The heel struck first, and you could tell the crowd reacted very negatively to that. They were not a fan of me getting slapped across the face. So the crowd very much behind me at this point. The heel identifies the fact that, we are in a main event spot, so when you're working in the main event, you structure a match differently. So we're doing a little bit more of letting them really want it, playing with the crowd a little bit more. The heel, Justin, saying, I'm not doing anything until the crowd calms down, which of course is going to encourage the crowd to continue cheering for the babyface. Now I'm able to successfully get the single leg, but at the expense because the heel's back was turned to the referee. In that short moment, that's when I was able to get the single leg, and I was met with a chop because of it. You couldn't tell there, that was me getting spit in the face, which wouldn't work during Corona times now. But now, finally, Babyface is getting his comeuppance. He's getting some shots in on the heel. Crowd's loving it. I'm dipping and dodging. Whoa, whoa. Whew, that damn Babyface. He's too smart. He's too smart for that heel. He's too quick. The crowd's loving it. So he got me up. I slipped behind. Huge pop. I landed on my feet. Oh, almost got the ref. Cut off. So the heel's able to cut off the Babyface with a low blow. Cheap as all hell. Referee in seat. The people are pissed. Referee, open your eyes. See right there. See, when I was selling, I'm staying in the middle of the ring because if I'm over in the left or the right side, then some people can't see me. So I'm right in the middle of the ring so Hard can pick me up. Everyone can see me. And at this point, we are entering the heat of a match. Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt. So in the heat, this is when the heel just gets a lot of his heat from the fans. And he's just beating down the Babyface. There's another one. I'm staying in the middle of the ring, and being a masked wrestler, you can't see my facial expression. You can't see my facial features. You can't see myself, so I have to be very expressive in my body language, which is why I'm kicking my feet a lot. I'm keeping my head up. See right there, I'm trying to get up. I'm trying to fight up. I see the roaming cam right there. So I'm trying to feed my face to the roaming cam. And right there, unfortunately, that is kind of the beginning of the end for me because I got busted open. Right there, I'm checking my nose because I got busted open. And I just feel the blood starting to come down. But, you know, don't panic. I informed the heel. I said, yo, I got a busted nose right now. Just give me some time to breathe. So this is why we're working the hold right here. Getting the crowd to go back down to eventually then inevitably get them back up. I'm showing the crowd I got some fight left in me. That's why they're behind me. Okay. I'm still reaching for the crowd. I feel you guys. Keep going with me. Keep on. Keep fighting with me. Duck one, duck two. Back down. Head nice and up. And once again, I'm up. Because if I'm down on my back, why are they going to cheer for me? I'm down on my back. Instead, I get moving a little bit. I'm still selling a little bit. But still showing I got some fight left in me. Because that's what people want. There's a third kick to the back. At this point, the crowd is like so... They are so done of seeing me just get my ass beat. They want to see me get up. They want to see me fight back. So at this point, we're working back up. We're working back up. Breaking the grip. It's a struggle. I didn't just break the grip right away. It was a little bit of a struggle. You know, don't make it too easy. Now I'm back trying to go on the offense. I'm stopped in my track. Oh. Boot up in the corner, I'm telling the fans, I got this, I got this. He comes charging in again a second time. I put my knees up. He's still on his feet, though. He's still on his feet. Slowly climbing to the top rope. And even again, I'm still trying to get that heel away from me. Big top rope crossbody. The crowd gets unglued. Oh, so close. So close. That Babyface, the underdog, was so close of getting the upset and winning the belt. Back up. I'm still holding my back because I'm still in some pain. Boom. Elbow to the side of the neck. And at this point, we're slowing down the crowd again. It can't just be up, 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 up. It's a roller coaster. It's a ride. We're taking the crowd on a ride. It's ups and downs, peaks and valleys. And now the crowd's dead. They understand something happened. They don't really know what. They saw I got elbowed in the neck. They see a little bit of blood on my nose. They're wondering, is this okay? And they're quiet. They don't understand what's going on. I think it's very real at this point. And they're, come on, the referee's trying to get the heel back, and the heel's not having any of it. And look at the people's faces. That's the things. That's the telling story. Seeing people's faces in the front row. They're uncomfortable. They're holding their faces. They're holding their mouths. They don't know what to expect. Oh, man, the heel gets him up. Ooh. Super simple bump, but the crowd, look how uncomfortable everybody is. They're so uncomfortable. They just watched me land on my neck yet again. Such a simple bump, super safe, but it looked like hell. And of course now he's going for it yet again. Not as big of a reaction that time around. I think because the first time my legs hit the top rope, so the ring like ricocheted, so people really felt that. Second time we went to the well one too many times. Didn't get a reaction, but we still have the crowd up as well. At this point, as the babyface, my job is to establish sympathy. I'm trying to get sympathy from the crowd. I mean, I really am hurting at this point. I'm really trying to just buy myself some time so I can get my nose stopped bleeding. And I tell them to hit me harder. Maybe not the smartest decision on my behalf, but at that point I'm showing everybody, hey, I'm still fighting for you guys. I'm still in this. Don't give up on me just yet. And look at that reaction. The crowd popped huge for that. And it's because of the way in which the heel reacted to it. I kicked out and he's getting so frustrated. And he showed it. He wasn't just like, oh, it's too... Damn, I'll get him next time. No, he got up. I was like, ref, I can't believe it. How did he kick out of that? You know, whatever. And now at this point, the heel is doing yet another heel type of thing to keep getting heat on himself. He's taking off the top turnbuckle to do more damage. At this point, I'm trying to still sell, buy myself some time. And my tag team partner, Dre the Dragon, comes out to try to tell the heel, yo, come on, man, cool it. Knock it off. Don't do that. Back's turned to me. Perfect feed. Look at this place. Off a drop kick. Off a simple drop kick. A second drop kick, he hits his head in the back of the exposed turnbuckle, and the place has erupted. I'm still selling though. I didn't go from zero to hero. I didn't go from getting my ass kicked the whole match to, oh, I'm all fine now. Everything's all good. No, I'm still selling. I'm still holding my back. My neck still hurts. That blood is still coming out of my nose. The crowd feels it. They believe in me at this point. This is the climax. It's the pinnacle part of the match. Everyone's behind me. So we milk the count to the count of 8. We're both getting up on our feet. I do a perfect sell on a circle, nice and wide. I go for the kick. He catches it. He goes for that big elbow again. I duck it. Enziguri. But he's still on his feet. He's still on his feet. So I'll go for it a second time. Now he's on wobbly feet. I should have had a little bit more sense of urgency. I should have reacted a little quicker and just hooked the bulldog and went for it. But crowd still pops huge. This is my moment. Here we go. Babyface is going to go over. Here we go. 1, 2. Holy shit. Everyone bought in. They believed in that moment they were going to see a new OTW heavyweight champion. The crowd knows what's going on. I'm going for my finish. I'm teasing my finish, the roundhouse kick. Oh, this time I actually did take out the referee, where earlier I went and I was unsuccessful. This time I actually took out the ref. Big Samoan drop. It's over. But there's no referee to count it. It's such a dramatic moment right now. Everyone knows Justin Pusser has me beat in the middle of the ring after a Samoan drop, but there's no referee. Now you see at this point I'm selling over to a buckle. I'm trying to pick myself up. I'm still selling. The referee's down. Justin Pusser is pissed off. He comes charging the buckle. He eats the exposed buckle yet again. And it makes sense because he was the one that won this. He was the one that took off the turnbuckle pad. So him getting his comeuppance is pretty satisfying for the crowd. Again, should have a little bit more sense of urgency. Oh, I go for that bulldog again. I eat the buckle. Crowd doesn't go down, which is interesting. They didn't even go down. You would think, they don't know what happened, I think. I smoked the same exposed turnbuckle Justin did, but the crowd didn't react. They were still chanting Olay in support of me. Referee comes up now. 1, 2, 3. I'm still in this, and look at the facials. Justin's in disbelief. He cannot believe it that I'm still fighting in this. My head's up. I'm kicking my feet. I'm holding the back of my neck. Everyone thinks for sure, how is this dude still getting up? Now Justin slides back in the ring. He has some kind of gimmick in his hands. Oh, but my tag team partner's not letting it happen. See how nice and big he's doing that? So pause right there. You see how nice and... He did it real expressive. He had the chain in his hand, and most wrestlers on the independents nowadays, they have some kind of gimmick and they hide it of some sort. Referee was down, and he wanted everyone to know that he was going to do something cheap. So what he did was he had the chain wrapped in his hand, and he had it real nice and tall for everyone to see. He's wrapping his fist with the chain, so everyone knows what's going on. And of course, my tag team partner doing the right thing, getting in the ring, saying, hey, you can't do that, man. Put the chain down. What do you think you're doing? I'm not letting this happen. This is... Oh! And he gets knocked down because of it. The heel's back is turned to me. He's talking shit to Dre. Oh, I hit him a low blow of his own because he hit me with one earlier. So I got my redemption. I hit him with the low blow. I'm still selling, looking around. This is my moment. This is my moment. Go for the finish. Big roundhouse kick. It's over. Slow, super slow here. We didn't rush it. It was super slow, super dramatic, where the heel got hit with the finish and he slowly and ever so surely just kept on crawling until he inevitably fell on the floor. At this point, I know what's going on. As the smart babyface, I know I have to get him back in the ring to successfully get the championship. So this is a first shoot here at this point. I'm legitimately trying my hardest to get this grown man inside of the ring to get the dub. 9, we're at a count of 9. I did the same reaction in the ring. Disappointment. Crowd's dead. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. I'm going to continue to break down and analyze and scrutinize these matches and break down the psychology and storytelling. I figured my match, my biggest match, or one of my biggest matches, would be a good starting point, thus demonstrating this is a classic heel versus babyface, big man versus underdog type of story for a heavyweight championship main event. Okay, everyone, it is now time for my exclusive interview with one of my closest friends, deathmatch wrestling icon, Jimmy Lloyd.
I continue.
How you doing today, Jim?
I'm good.
Fantastic. Cool. How excited are you to be a part? I know the excitement is radiating off you. You're so excited to be a part of the Gimmick. You're the first official guest. How does it feel? Please tell me.
I don't even want to tell you.
It's probably for the better. Regardless, Jimmy, how long have we been friends for? Since
what, like 2015?
No, 2014. That's when I met you. But you might consider us to be actual friends in 2015, which is fair.
I wasn't friends with the guy that was going like this.
That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke from my first time going to a wrestling show. I was doing the got 'em at the wrestlers as when I was like. I was like 15 years old. It was this, yeah. It was I got him. Yeah, it was an inside joke. They don't let me live it down. It was my first time going to. Yeah, okay, got it. So yeah, we trained at the same school in Williamstown, New Jersey, OTW. Obviously, you can tell one of us applied that knowledge, and the other one went in a completely different direction. And to each their own. I mean, he's very accomplished. Jimmy has done a tremendous job over these past couple of years of really making a name for himself on the independents. I mean, Jimmy, for those of people that are not aware of your accomplishments and your accolades, do you mind listing just a few?
I won CZW Tournament of Death 17.
Yes.
I've competed in basically every major deathmatch tournament. GCW's Tournament of Survival, GCW Nick Gage Invitational, IWA Mid-South King of Deathmatches. I did TNT Extreme Wrestling's DOA in England. Lord of Anarchy, Hardcore Kingdom, a lot of crazy deathmatch tournaments. And then I've wrestled some of the best wrestlers in the world.
Right. Tell me some about the people you worked over the years.
I wrestled a lot of the people you see on TV. Jungle Boy, MJF, Margo Stunt, Joey Janela, Shotzi Blackheart. I mean, I could keep naming people.
Right. No, I mean, that's the thing.
Party. Then I've wrestled even
legends.
Yeah, legends. Sabu, Too Cold Scorpio, the Great Sasuke, PCO.
Right. And that's the thing. People have this misconception about you as a worker is that you're not all death matches. You can do variations of different wrestling styles. You can slow it down and have an old school match. Or you can have a spot fest where you do a bunch of spots and stuff. You can do a death match. Well, come on. I mean, let's be realistic with ourselves. Like, you can't
call it a spot fest anymore because that's basically what.
Well, if you do if you do like a scramble and all your job is just run a bunch of spots, then yeah, I would consider that being a spot match. Right?
What if I did a singles match and we just?
Well, I wasn't referring to a singles match. I just referred that wouldn't be a spot fest. That's a one-on-one traditional style of match. Regardless, like you have a bunch of different tools at your utility belt, and you've worked a lot of great guys. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy to really think that you are 23 years old, the same age as me, and you have done a lot more in your career than I could ever hope to. And I think that speaks to all the hard work and dedication that you've been pouring into the sport for over these past couple of years, man. That's some really good shit.
I even competed on an international level.
What was that like? Yeah, Mexico,
Japan, England. It was awesome. I mean, the only little troubles you have is the language barrier.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I mean, basically everybody understands wrestling, no matter what language you speak, because it's very universal. Pro wrestling, everybody understands the pro wrestling terms. So I mean, that part comes easy, and just getting to see different cultures is awesome.
Right.
And one thing that I really remember and I'll always hold dear to my heart is main eventing Corrigan Hall. It was a tag match with me and Marcus Crane versus Masashi Takeda and Jun Kasai.
What was that like?
Oh, it was amazing. I always wanted to wrestle Jun Kasai, and to get to wrestle him in Japan in the main event of Corrigan Hall.
Right.
For a show that's called Jun Kasai's Deathmatch Carnival for Freedoms is crazy.
No, that sounds like a crazy carnival, man, for sure. What's next though? Like, I feel like you've done so much. What is next on your horizon?
Whatever comes my way.
Anything in particular?
I mean, I want to get to a bigger level.
Of course.
Like, everybody wants to get to that next step. I mean, everybody wants to evolve in pro wrestling. Nobody just wants to plateau and stay the same.
Any, like, your eyes on AEW, WWE, any
Whatever comes my way.
So you're
AEW would be awesome.
Right.
WWE would be awesome.
And you are close. Like, you have had such success and you've worked such big names. I feel like that's the natural progression. Is that's the next level is getting to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool, man.
I mean, I won't be satisfied with my pro wrestling career ever, no matter how far I get, because you always want more.
Oh yeah.
That's just the way human beings are.
Right.
They always want more. They're greedy motherfuckers.
I couldn't say it better myself. And yeah, that's the thing. Is like, so if you were to be just an independent star for the rest of your life,
I mean, everything I set that I wanted to do when I started,
Yeah.
I got to go to Japan and do death matches. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work for these companies that I'm currently working for.
Right.
So right now I'm happy, but I'm never going to be satisfied.
Makes sense. And if you are the 87-year-old guy at the merch table still gigging for a quick dollar.
Gigging, but I'll be signing some autographs.
Well, you keep gigging yourself. I mean, it's just gonna leak out over time, right?
Probably. I mean, it'll be easier to get some blood out.
I'm sure of it. My last question to you is, like, what is your advice to these aspiring young wrestlers that want to get into professional wrestling or get into deathmatch scene?
If you want to get into the deathmatch scene, you're going to take the same route that you would take if you just want to be a pro wrestler, because you got to get some training under your belt. You don't want to be one of those
100%.
guys that just go in there and just bash people with light tubes. You want to be able to wrestle and have a good match before you get into death matches. So if you want to be a deathmatch wrestler, I would say you get training and you get a couple years of just straight wrestling matches under your belt, so you understand the psychology, you understand how to put the match together, you know how to do moves, and you know how to make everything matter. Because deathmatch wrestling, it's not just hit each other with light tubes. It's you have to wrestle, and then you have to use the weapons that are provided to you and make them work in a wrestling match.
Right, yeah. And to be fair, my biggest critique, I believe there is a place for deathmatch wrestling in wrestling, the environment. I believe there is a right moment. And as you can tell, like, even on like television, AEW right now, they're incorporating some deathmatch elements.
No rope exploding barbed wire.
And that's so awesome. But my only critique is I hate watching deathmatch wrestlers who just strictly, you can tell they're not very trained, so they're kind of hiding their lack of wrestling abilities.
They're even calling it a death match.
Huh?
They're calling it an exploding barbed wire death match.
And that's awesome. I'm so happy that the scene is getting some recognition, because, like I said, there is a specific use of death matches. I feel like it gets a bad rep because of the guys that don't get the training. You know what I mean? Yes, because people that just, I want to be a wrestler today.
Look at it now, and like, where are you really finding that? Like, I mean, some shithole.
Right.
Like, I mean, any of the big companies that are doing death matches are doing them the right way.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. I feel like the major companies, GCW is one that comes to my mind. They are doing death matches the right way. They're not just willy-nilly doing death matches for the sake of doing death matches. They're not just bashing each other over the head with light tube and setting us up on fire for the sake of it. I feel like it's like your match, for example. You're going to be wrestling in a no-rope barbed wire match against G. Raver this weekend. Any comments?
I mean, I almost killed the man.
Yeah, it's a fact. Like, that's actually a fact that people don't know. Well, I don't know if people do know that or not, but yeah, you almost legit killed a man. And
I mean, he can't have feeling in his hand. He can't make a fist.
That's super unfortunate, man.
I know, it's sad. It sucks. That just shows you the risk that you take when you do a death match. And,
right.
I mean, he didn't want to take my apologies for my apologies, so that's what he wanted to come back and try to handicap me and make sure I can't close my fist. He wants to come back and try to end my career, and that's why we had to take it to this step of doing a no-rope barbed wire match, because we just couldn't go in there and just have a wrestling match.
No, I agree. This story calls for a stipulation like a no-rope barbed wire, because it is personal and it is legit. Like, you actually almost killed this man, so if he tries coming back and, you know, killing you or taking your arm, I mean, you really can't blame him, I guess, right?
I can't blame him. I mean, I told him it's an I apologized, it's an accident.
I'm sure, yeah, you definitely do it deliberately, but that is, like you said, the risk. Or anybody watching out there that wants to be a deathmatch wrestler, that is the risk associated with it. And I feel like you are an inspiration to younger people, because you are a young kid still. Like, it's crazy to think that you are 23 years old. Like, you've accomplished so much. So these young guys are looking up to you as a role model almost.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, how could it not be? You know, you deserve that though. Like, you're someone that, like we were talking about it, like you went from paying your dues by being security, reffing, putting up the ring. Like, you did all, like, the rudimentary level stuff.
The right shit.
The right way, too.
Yeah.
And you worked your way up to being able to be flown out to Japan to go wrestle.
You gotta earn it. Nothing's handed to you.
Right.
In anything in life.
You tell them.
Nothing's handed to you in life.
Yeah.
You have to earn that shit.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. Put the hard work in and you can succeed like
no
yourself.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. I think it's like, you know, I appreciate you taking the time out, coming out, answering a couple questions for me. Any last thing you want to say to everybody?
No.
You want to promote anything?
Sure.
Go for it.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Jimmy Lloyd. And that's about it.
Well, there you go, man. I appreciate you taking the time out. I hope you had fun. You don't have to answer it. I know you did. So how should we end this? Fist bump or handshake?
We can do a fist bump and then you can send me my money.
Yo, get out of my face. Yo, get out of my face. All right, well, Jimmy didn't want to stay for the outro. So that being said, I hope everyone enjoyed. What are you doing?
No, keep going.
You hit the end button?
No, I pressed the close because it was on low power mode.
I thought he was messing with something. Regardless, I appreciate everyone checking out the first episode of The Gimmick. I hope you all enjoyed it. I worked really hard on this. If you did, please let me know down below. And I look forward to seeing everybody again. Take care, everybody.